Welcome to the video on basic subtraction. So what's subtraction? Subtraction is essentially taking away from something else. So you learned addition. So let's see an addition. And I think I used avocados as the example. Let's use something else. I don't know. I'm using what color is this? This is like let's do bananas. I'm use yellow. So we learned in addition, in basic addition, that if we have, let's say, 1, 2 bananas, and then we were to grow 3 more bananas, and I'll make the 3 new bananas green because, right, when you grow a banana before it has a chance to ripen, it's green. So let's say I were to grow 3 more bananas. 3 more bananas. And they look more like beans than bananas, but I think you get the idea. So we learned in basic addition that the total number of bananas we would now have would be 2 plus the 3 new ones that we just grew plus 3. And you realize that that's 5. And then the other way to visualize that was if we looked at a number line. Let me draw a thicker number line than that. Let's say that I'll do it in magenta. This color is magenta. So if you were to look at a number line, and this is 0 bananas. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it just keeps going into larger and larger numbers. So we said we started off with 2 bananas. Right? And we grew 3 bananas. So that took us 3 steps larger on the number line, or 3 steps to the positive on the number line. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So we got this far. So what's the total number of bananas we have? We have 5. We started at 2, and we added 3 bananas. Okay, so that was a review of addition. So what is subtraction? Well, subtraction is the opposite of addition. When you're adding 2 numbers, at least we'll deal with the positive numbers right now. I don't want to scare you too much at your tender age, but I don't know how old you are because this is a video. But if we're dealing with positive numbers, when you add 2 positive numbers, you get a larger number. When you subtract 2 numbers, you're going to get, at least for now, you're going to get a smaller number. So let's think about subtraction. So let's start. Maybe I'll go back to avocados because they're easier to draw than bananas. So let's say I were to start with, let's say 6 avocados. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 avocados. So I start with 6 avocados. Start 6 avocados. I start with 6 avocados, and let's say I'm very hungry, and despite the fact that avocados are calorie-rich food, I decide to eat 4 avocados. So I eat 4 avocados. So I eat 4 avocados. My question to you is, how many avocados do I have left? Let's see. These are my 6 avocados. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see this. Let's say that this one looks particularly tasty and ripe and ready to eat. So I eat that one. So let's take that one away. That doesn't exist anymore. So we're left with 5. But I told you I ate a total of 4 avocados, and let's say that this one also looks awfully good, so I eat this one. I'm just going right to left. I could just say this one looks good. Doesn't matter which avocados I pick. They're all equally delicious. Let's say I pick, I don't know. Well, I'm going to go from the right and go to the left, just so you have some visualization of things. Then I pick this avocado and I eat it. Right? And I said 4 avocados. How many have I eaten so far? I've eaten 1, 2, 3 avocados. So I have to eat 1 more in order to get my daily allowance of avocados. So I eat 4 avocados. So the question was, how many avocados do I have left? Well, look here. I had 6. I ate 4 of them. And right here I have 2 uneaten avocados. So left So avocados left is going to be 2 avocados. I should probably, you're just probably learning to read right now, so I should probably use words easier to spell than avocados. But never hurts to be exposed. So we just did subtraction. If I were to write this without having to draw avocados, we would have said 6 minus, you could view the eat as minus, taking away. So 6 minus 4 avocados is equal to 2 avocados. If we go to the number line, let's think about that number line. And hopefully you're reasonably familiar with this point. Let's look at that number line. So let's say that this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't want to bore you, 5, 6, and it just keeps going. I could extend this number line forever because there's no largest number, as you'll learn later. Or as you could imagine, right? If there was a largest number, I can always think of a bigger number because I could add 1 to that number. But anyway, let's go back to the problem and not get too deep with how large a number can get. So how many avocados did we start off with? We started off with 6 avocados, right? And we ate 4, or we could say we subtracted 4. Now remember, when we added, if we added 4 avocados, let's say if we grew four more avocados, we would have gone to the right 4 spaces on the number line. But with subtraction, you go to the left on the number line, which makes sense. You're taking away, right? If I ate 1 avocado, I would have 5 left. If I ate 2 avocados, I would have 4 left, right? So the number of avocados that I eat is the number that I take a jump to the left. So it says I ate 4 avocados. So I ate 1, 2, 3, 4 avocados. So I will go 4 spots to the left when I eat my 4 avocados. And I will be left with 2 avocados. Let's do a couple of more examples, and I think you'll have a decent idea of how subtraction works. Oh, actually, and let's think of it this way. Let's say I want you to see how addition and subtraction are related to each other. Let's say that I were to tell you that I started with 6 avocados. Let me think about it. The best way to say. Let's say that I started with 6 avocados. So let me just erase this. I don't want to get too crowded on the page. Let's say I start with 6 avocados, just like the last problem, avocados. And let's say someone comes into my room and eats a bunch, and I'm left with 2 avocados. I'll do it in a different color. Let's say I'm left with 2 avocados. My question is, how many did the person eat? How many did they eat? I don't know. How many did they eat? I started with 6 and I'm left with 2. How many did they eat? Well, there's a couple of ways to think about it. You could say 6 avocados minus the amount of avocados eaten is equal to 2. So the way you have to think about it is 6 minus what is equal to 2, right? So let's think about it from the number line. Or we could even draw the avocados. I'll still draw them in green. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many do I have to eat? How many do I have to take away to be left with 2? Let's say these are the 2 that I'm left with, so I would have to take away these 4. So essentially that person would have had to have eaten 4 avocados. Another way you could think about it is, what is the difference between the number of avocados I started with and the numbers of avocados that I'm left with? So the way you think about difference is, how different is 6 and 2? And that is how many must have been eaten. And so you could actually write it like this. The difference between 6 and 2 is equal to the number of avocados that are eaten. And let me draw you a little graph that might make a little more sense of that. Let's say that bar represents 6. We could 6 of anything, but in our example, it's 6 avocados. right? And let's say this bar here represents how many were left. Let's say that's 2. So our question is, how many were eaten? So this amount right here had to be what was eaten. And so you can view it as the difference between 6 and 2, or 4 avocados. Anyway, I hope I didn't confuse you, and I hope that was a reasonable introduction to subtraction. Let me know if you found this daunting, but I will see you in the next video.